Every year, thousands of design YouTube channels decide to post a video on what they think the trends are going to be. Now, I've watched all of them this year so far, and I think they're all wrong. Because in 2026, design trends aren't going to be about shapes or fonts anymore. We're on the verge of something very different. 2026 is going to be about how technology reshapes design itself. No one is talking about the elephant in the room, which is AI and AR technology, which is going to completely change the way that we interact with our designs. So I want to dive right into my theories on the trends for 2026 and beyond with all of this new technology influencing the way we design. The first design trend I want to talk about is liquid glass. Apple changed their entire design ecosystem for the first time in over a decade, and that doesn't go without meaning. You see, when Apple originally released skeuomorphic design with the original iPhone, those old iOS apps, which we're going to talk more about later, that style was created to help people get used to the digital world. They hadn't experienced digital technology in that way quite yet, and it was a way for mass consumers who were using the iPhone or the iPod to recognize and understand what the buttons were. They looked just like they did in the real world. Today, Apple is repeating that process with liquid glass. Liquid glass is a way to make it feel natural. As soon as you put on those Apple AR glasses, it's going to feel so comfortable and normal to you to experience what life is like in a mixed reality world. I personally had this experience when I tried the Apple Vision Pro, and I couldn't believe how normal it felt to have a FaceTime call right there. It all just made sense. The design elements that make up this style are, of course, glass morphism, also frosted layers, refractions and reflections of light and water, and glows and shadows that react to their environment and surroundings. The main thing for you to know is that we are exiting the era of flat design. We're already seeing brands put a lot more detail into their logos and apps that are copying the same style with reflections and refractions and glows and shadows. It doesn't even have to be 3D. You can do this in a 2D way. But the point is, this is a major turning point of goodbye flat design and welcome 3D design. The next trend I want to talk about is skeuomorphism being reborn. So of course, going off the same concept of why liquid glass and glass morphism are coming back, I think that we'll see a rise of skeuomorphic designs again. But this time a little bit different. We're going to be seeing those earth-like materials, wood, fire, metal, stone, plants, all of those textures being brought back into digital designs. The reason for that is the same. As AI and AR technology are blending the worlds of digital and physical, it makes sense to bring these textures back into designs. That way, as people interact with your digital designs in the physical space, it feels familiar and those textures feel tangible. The third design trend that I think we're going to see a lot of in 2026 is 3D modeling. Now, you might be noticing a trend here, but besides all of the AR and AI reasons, 3D is just plain cool. 3D modeling has become more and more popular over the last few years, and I believe that popularity is going to continue to rise in 2026. We've been seeing a lot of brands and big companies use really cool 3D animations to catch the attentions of consumers. And we've been seeing a lot of creatives using 3D modeling just to have fun and be creative. It really is truly a very interesting medium. I noticed the other day that Google has been AI generating 3D models to put into Google search. And another important announcement is that Blender 5.0 will be coming out in November, which should be a pretty big update. So it's important that if you're designing a logo or assets for a brand, that you think about not only how the design works in a physical space, but also how it's going to be interactive in a 3D space as well. Our fourth design trend is dynamic gradients. I covered this in an earlier video when Google changed their logo to a gradient, and I think it shocked a lot of print designers. But the reason behind it was actually very unique. A lot of these AI companies like ChatGPT, Siri, Gemini, even Copilot, they're all using the same rainbow gradient. Now, as a result of all these big brands using gradients, it's really become a big trend across the entire design industry, not just for AI chatbots, and I imagine it's going to continue that way onwards into 2026. Number 5 is futurism, which I know might seem obvious based off the last 4 trends, but I do want to get a little bit specific here because I think the designs can be really unique. I've seen a lot of brands and creatives kind of split off into 2 different directions, which is dystopian, like the Matrix or Fallout, and utopian, like these playful gradients we just talked about, or retro-futurism, or like the Jetsons. For the dystopian route, I made a video all about why a bunch of our favorite apps are going completely black and white. And the reason is because this dystopian future isn't about being scary, but it's about being serious, utilitarian, and trustworthy. And that's why these brands are going in that direction. And now for the playful, fun, retro-futuristic vibe, I think that's a lot of fun, and I've seen a lot of creatives do a lot of interesting things with old 80s style, 50s style posters, 3D objects, GIFs, and cool fonts. It's really up to you to decide if you're going to use this futuristic design trend, which direction best fits for your design. Now, if you like learning about design trends like these, I put together a newsletter called The Creative Brief. This is a once-a-month email that goes in your inbox. It's totally free, and it's just to help you keep in the loop with all of the design trends, creative news, updates about Apple, about Adobe, everything you need to know as a designer, as a creative, to stay in the loop. So if you're interested, I'm going to put a link in the description below. Just click on it, sign up, and once a month you'll get an email in your inbox from me. You can reply to it, and we can talk about all of these updates in the creative industry. Now, this last design trend I think will extend far beyond 2026, and I'm calling it hyper-personalization. People now more than ever before want to customize everything, from their wallpaper to widgets and themes on their phone, to even the voice that tells you what direction to go on Google Maps. Even the content you consume, micro-influencers are much more popular and influential now than celebrities are. And that's because people are interested in this overarching celebrity figure that's influencing everybody. They're instead finding people that connect with them on an individual level and feel like their style. AI is going to continue making personalization easier and easier because AI chatbots can respond to you in the way that you talk. They know everything about you, and they can customize to your style and create personalized experiences just for you. My point is, as we move into a future where personalization is going to become more and more common, these overarching design trends are going to become less common, and little micro design styles are going to become what is popular. These micro design trends are what people are going to use to customize the world around them to their liking. The big picture here is that technology always influences design. When Photoshop and Illustrator came out, that changed graphics forever. New tools and technology changed the designs that we make. As we enter a world that is going to have more and more AI and AR technology, I believe our designs are going to be more focused on how they adapt to this new technology. I believe 2026 is going to be full of designs that adapt to technology and show how the physical and digital worlds are going to merge together with physics and Earth-like materials. Now, if you're interested in learning more about design styles and trends and fonts and textures and patterns, you might want to check out KITTL'S design trend report. I think that they do a really good job of diving into data and really predicting what all of the fun, unique styles that are going to be in 2026 will be, beyond just my crazy, wild speculations about the future. They do talk about AI design, but they also have tons of really cool and fun creative assets, fonts, and templates that you can start diving into today. You can actually pull their design report into KITTL and start messing around with all of their elements. So I'll leave a link in the description to their design report and where you can sign up for Kittl. Let me know in the comments if you think any of my trend ideas are right, or if you have a completely different take. I really want to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Creative Brief newsletter so you can stay up to date on all things creative.